What's up guys? In today's video, I'm going to show you 5 movement tips that are going to help you move through Apex like a veteran player. If you've played Apex at all, you know that movement is one of the most fun aspects of the entire game, but also one of the key components to becoming a better player overall. Now this video is aimed at newer players, but I will be breaking down core movement tech that must be mastered before you can move to the advanced techniques. Let's get into it. Number 1, the crouch spam. I put this mechanic first because I find it to be the least important of all of the moves on this list. Essentially, crouch spamming is exactly what it sounds like, spamming crouch. To do this, you have to use hold to crouch, as toggle crouch won't work. I'm going to show you why this exact movement isn't quite as good as players might lead you to believe. In this clip, you can see that crouch spamming appears to be moving me up and down rapidly, creating more movement. More movement always means that you're harder to hit. However, in this clip, you can see that spamming crouch as fast as possible actually creates much less movement than you might have thought, making you easier to hit. Now, my preference is to slow this down and to space my crouching out a bit more to create more movement for my head. Keep in mind, this type of movement is a lot more effective for characters like Wraith and Lifeline than it is for characters like Gibby and Newcastle. Number 2, let's talk about the infamous wall bounce. My objective here is to show you how to execute this move every time. Once you have this down, you can start doing it while moving around the map until you get comfortable with it. Once you have it down, you can start incorporating it into your gunfights and using it as a way to surprise your opponent. Before we get started, the easiest way to hit this consistently is to use scroll wheel down for your jump button. If you're playing on controller or you prefer to use your spacebar instead, that's perfectly fine. I still use spacebar and I'm pretty consistent with my wall bounces. Okay, first off, you're going to start sprinting, obviously. You're going to be sprinting alongside the wall that you plan to wall bounce off of. You're not going to be too close, but not too far away. Just before you execute the wall bounce, you're going to want to angle yourself so that you're running towards the wall. Not directly, but around a 45-degree angle. Next, you're going to hit your slide. The next part is the part that I think a lot of people have trouble with. You're going to simultaneously hit your jump, but also turn your character to face the wall. It's important at this point that you're not holding down any keys on your keyboard whatsoever. As soon as you make contact with the wall, you're simply going to hit spacebar. If you hit your spacebar too soon, your character won't do anything and they'll slide down the wall. If you hit your spacebar too late, your character will almost stick to the wall and then just jump off of it with no momentum. Here's the wall bounce all together. Next up, we have the bunny hop. This is a great way to add just a little bit of extra movement to your character, especially when you're moving in an open area where you might not have cover. The bunny hop is pretty easy, but it requires some timing. You're going to sprint, slide, jump, and then as you hit the ground, you're going to jump and then jump again, etc., until you're done bunny hopping. Now, again, the easiest way to do this would be to bind jump to your scroll wheel down, and then you can just sprint, slide, jump, and then scroll wheel down until you're done bunny hopping. Number 4 has a couple different names, but for this video, we're going to call it super zip jumping. The super zip jump allows you to get some unbelievable air off of your zip lines. That's the good news. The bad news is I can only seem to do this 1 out of every 20 times if I'm using spacebar for jump. So to do this one consistently, I am going to recommend that you use scroll wheel down for your jump. So how do we do it? It's actually the easiest move so far. All you have to do is stand on the ground, attach the zip line at the exact same time that you're hitting scroll wheel down, and you'll hit it every time. All right, guys, tip number 5, and probably the most controversial of all the movement techniques, the tap strafe. Before I show you guys this last tip, be sure to click the like on this video, subscribe to the channel. I post weekly, and I would love to see you guys back here for more Apex content. I previously mentioned that this movement technique was controversial, and that's mainly due to its nature being only available to mouse and keyboard players. I'm not going to waste your time with a big explanation about why only mouse and keyboard players can do it. I want the game to be fair. So if people have figured out how to make it work on controller or console, that's awesome. I'm all for it. A simple way to put this is tap strafing allows you to change your direction mid-air while maintaining all of your momentum. There's a lot of uses for tap strafing, but basically being able to change your direction at any moment and maintain all of your momentum makes you unpredictable, more maneuverable, and a lot harder to shoot. In order to do this, you have to bind your move forward to either scroll wheel up or scroll wheel down. It's up to you. This is going to take a little bit of practice just because it's going to feel weird at first, but once you get it down, it's really easy and you're going to be doing it all the time. To execute, all you need to do is sprint, slide, jump, and here's the tricky part. At this exact moment when you jump into the air, you need to take your hands off of all of your keys. You need to turn your character facing the direction you want to go, and simply scroll wheel up and you'll go that direction. At first, this might feel a little weird, but you're going to get used to it in no time. I'm going to teach you guys one advanced technique in this video, and in my next video, I'm going to go over more advanced techniques and show you how you can incorporate your tap strafing into some really cool ways to juke out your enemies. So you got tap strafing down and you're killing it. Now what? You're going to sprint, slide, jump, and at the exact moment that you jump, instead of letting go of all of your keys, you're actually going to hold down A or D while simultaneously hitting your scroll wheel up. This is going to cause you to move diagonally while keeping all of your momentum. If you chain this together with some of the other techniques that I showed you in this video, it makes it extremely unpredictable for your opponent, and it's going to make it a lot harder to shoot you. That does it for this week's video, guys. Hopefully this video helped at least one new Apex player. If it did, be sure to hit that like button. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.